talk about is ways to optimize the newsfeed stories that are published back to Facebook when someone clicks your like button. So the most important thing you can do is give your users the opportunity to add an additional comment to their like. So what this means is a user comes to your site, they see your like button, they click like. If you use the correct like button, they will have an additional comment or an additional little fly-in will fly in, and they'll have the opportunity to add a comment to their like. So they can type in, for instance, if it's a restaurant, they could type in, this is what I had at the restaurant, and this is why it's so great. And if they click post back to Facebook, the story that's published back to Facebook is a much larger story and includes that comment. So the way to allow your users to add a comment to their like is to use a larger story and includes that comment. So the way to allow your users to add a comment to their like is to use the XFBML version of the like button. So if you remember, when we looked at the configurator on developers.facebook.com and you click that Get Code button, there were two options for your like button. There was an iframe option and there was an XFBML option. If you use that second option, the XFBML version, your users will always have the opportunity to add an additional comment to their like. If you're using the iframe version, your users can have the opportunity to add a comment to their like if you use the standard layout. So there are 3 different layouts that you'll see on the configurator. If you use the standard layout and have a width of at least 400 pixels, your users will be able to add a comment to their like. So if we look at the differences in the stream stories that are published when a user likes something and when a user likes something and adds a comment, you can kind of see the difference in size and distribution that these stories get. So when a user just clicks the like button, they get that top story, this one-line story that says, Austin likes In-N-Out. When a user chooses to add that additional comment, the story that's published is a full feed story that includes the user's comment, an image from your site, and a little snippet about this object. And so we've seen that these full stories get more engagement on Facebook. More people comment on these stories and like these stories, which causes these stories to get even a bigger boost and get more distribution. So it's more likely that users will click and come back to your site if you get your users to add an additional comment to their like. So that's the first thing you can do. Allow your users to add a comment to their like. The second thing you can do is optimize your open graph tags for the feed. So as we talked about before, there are 6 required open graph tags. Just to quickly walk through them again, there's a title. This is the title of your object, the name of it. The second one is an image. So this is just a URL that represents your object. The third one is a site name. So this is just the name of your site. Probably all like buttons that you have on your site will have the same site name. So for instance, in our example, we're using jeans, and the site name is Levi's. The fourth one is a type. So back on that developer's site, on the like button documentation, we list all of the open graph types. I think there are about 30 types. So just look through those types and pick out the one that best matches your object. Facebook uses these types to know how to organize the user's profile. So for example, if a user likes something that's typed music, we know to put that in the music section of their profile. The next tag is actually not a required tag, but it's something that we encourage you to use, and that's a description. So this is just a sentence or two about your object. Finally, the next tag that's required is a URL. So this is just the URL that the user is liking. So we know when the user clicks on your page on Facebook, this is the URL we should bring them back to. The final tag is the admins tag. So this is just saying, I am the administrator of this page. It basically means, I'm the one who should be able to see insights about this page. I'm the one who should be able to publish back to these users. For the admin link, you specify the user ID, your user ID in the content field. Now, the easiest way to find